Oh, there we go.
Okay, let's go. All right.
There you go.
A.
That's an A.
That's an A. H.
Here we go.
Go. You.
If you're gay, then you're gay. Don't pretend that you're straight. You can be who you are any day of the week. You are unlike the others, so strong and unique. We're all with you. If you're straight, well, that's great. You can help procreate and make gay little babies for the whole human race. Make a world we can live in where the one who you love's not an issue. 'Cause we're all somewhere in the middle. We're all just looking for love to change the world. What if the world stops spinning tomorrow? We can't keep running away from who we are. If you're gay, then you're gay. If you're straight, well, that's great. If you fall in between, that's the best way to be. You've got so many options. Every fish in the sea wants to kiss. So many. Everyone is gay. Hooray! Happy Pride! And good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto. I am Jonathan Zenz. I'm the spiritual director here. It is such a joy to have you join us and bring your consciousness to this experience this morning. I want to say a special welcome to anyone who is joining us for the first time. I also want to say hello to everyone who is joining us online. And if you're joining us for the first time, I'm grateful to have you. Energy is universal, and we can feel it all over. Wherever we go, we are infinitely connected. And that's what today is all about. So we come here as a spiritual community every single Sunday to celebrate an idea that there is love at the core of everything, and that love is the infinite creative energy of the universe. Does that sound like a good thing to celebrate? Yes. All righty then, let's celebrate it. We're going to start off with this song by Gary Lynn Floyd and Robin Hackett called One Big Family. Feel free to dance. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are one, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Come on. Joyful sound, here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Well, that's certain to get the blood pumping. Whew. I have to do some organizing up here. Yes. So, we are love embodied, each and every one of us. And this truth cannot be denied. And the more we give in to love, the more our world gets better. The more our world gets better, the more we give in to love. You know, in the celebration of Pride, I had this funny thought that I have now been out of the closet for a quarter of a century. And then the joke is, yes, I came out when I was 2, right? But one of the things that really struck me, I was thinking about the Pride celebrations that happen all over the world this morning, and that at the core of each and every one of them is what we teach here, which is love, and that we should all embrace and love each and every person for their own uniqueness, their own brilliant uniqueness in this world. Because, the truth is, at least what I teach, the truth is that we are all here to express our uniqueness. Not a single one of us is here to be a cookie cutter of anybody else. And so when we express our uniqueness, we are giving into the God self that is at the core of our heart. And so let's let that be how we express today and in this moment. We have a beautiful, beautiful core of practitioners here at the center, and I am so grateful for what they offer this center in terms of service. And we have recently had a practitioner who has gone through the ministerial training program and has now become officially a minister. And I'm so grateful to be able to introduce her today to offer some words of wisdom and insight. Please welcome to the lectern the Reverend Helen Vallot. It's the first time I've been able to introduce you like that.
Independence Day for all of our friends south of the border. So this week's theme is, or this month's theme for the Center for Spiritual Living. Oh, shall I start all over again? I'll keep going. Our theme for this month is loving kindness and forgiveness. And I would like to start off with our the principle of these teachings, that we are spiritual beings living in a spiritual universe governed by our own individual use of the law of cause and effect. Okay, so now we're going to get real. We are spiritual beings, and yes, we are living in a spiritual universe. And yes, we are governed by our own individual use, which is totally our responsibility, of the law of cause and effect. And we are having a human experience in a human body on this earth plane, right here, right now. And therefore, as a result of having a human experience, we all experience pain and suffering. We do. So, we can candy coat it and go, yes, but we're spiritual beings having a spiritual experience. Yes, and we also experience pain and suffering. To remember and remind ourselves to come back to the truth of who we are, that we are spiritual beings living in a spiritual universe. And everything that happens to us that we experience is for our own remembering and to know that everything is in divine, perfect order. And I'm just going to try and find the right place to hold the microphone because I hear a lot of reverb. As a result of the suffering that we experience, and we all experience, we are really addicted to victimness. It is such a part of our human experience to be a victim. It is what every religion is trying to release ourselves from. You know, pray out to a God out here and we will be released from being a victim and find salvation. In this teaching, freedom from discord. Let's go back into ourselves and remember who we are so we have freedom from our victimness and our suffering. And our ego is deeply committed to that ego archetype. And we are supported by a world that really likes to keep us stuck as victims. And therefore, it is to look within ourselves and to know that everything that happens to us, that we bring ourselves to experience in suffering, is to be forgiven. Forgiveness. Forgiving new life to me. Forgiveness. Forgiving new life to me. Because we are in a constant state of evolvement. And so we can constantly release the old, let go of it. Let go of the history. Let go of the hurt and the pain and the suffering. And give ourselves new life. A life of peace and joy and happiness. Until something else happens. And we forget. And then we start all over again. And that's the practice of forgiveness. It's an ongoing practice. It's not a destination. It's not like, well, I've arrived and now I'm good for the rest of my life. No. This is a constant practice. It's a constant renewal. It's a constant place of remembering who we are so that we have the freedom to let go and step into this moment and understanding that we're all connected, we're all one. We never, in the words of Miller Williams, know what wars are going down where the spirit meets the bone for anybody else. But we need to look and see what wars are going on down where our spirit meets the bone and to free ourselves of that pain and suffering. So yes, it's part of the human journey. And the great thing the great thing about forgiveness is that we become conscious, and therefore we don't stay stuck in our victim place as long. We can go there and pop out, and go there and pop out again, and remember. And then, something else happens, and yes, we go back to being a victim. And then we can remember again. Oh, wait a minute, there's a blessing in this. It is happening for my highest and best good. There is something for me to know in this. There is perfection in this pain because spirit is everywhere. And therefore, I move into the path of forgiveness. And I release and I let go and I shed it so that I can have new life and rebirth. And it's so easy. It is so easy to build that ice around our hearts. And for me, one of the practices that I'm working on a lot in my life, and it's quite surprising to me how often this shows up, is I'm practicing barriers down. Barriers down. Barriers down. Because I can walk around and feel those barriers come up, which create a separation from myself and from others. And so when I practice barriers down, and I release the judgment of good energy or bad energy, right or wrong. All energy is a contribution to our growth. So when we can release the judgment and put the barriers down, it's so much easier. It takes a lot of energy to keep those barriers up. And now it takes a lot of consciousness to remember barriers down, barriers down. And yet, I can stay in my body. I can be present. I can be free of judgment. I can be in a place of surrender and allow instead of trying to control. Barriers down. And I can enjoy my life. And I can have fun. And I can be at peace. Because it's not my job to deal with anything out there. My job is to go within and to remember that I am a spiritual being living in a spiritual universe governed by my use of the law of cause and effect. And yes, I am having a human experience. And so in this human experience, I can have a little more love for myself and kindness and gentleness and appreciate all of my sticky points. I don't have to change them. I don't have to fix anything. I can love myself exactly as I am. And that, for me, is the brilliance of forgiveness, the constant practice of forgiving new life to myself. And I would like to close with Colin Tipping's Radical Forgiveness Invocation. For those of you who don't know who Colin Tipping is, he's written a book called Radical Forgiveness. And the radical forgiveness is that whatever it is we need to forgive, we get to the place of forgiveness so deeply and completely, it never happened. It's completely washed away. So that new life is just unfolding so brilliantly from a place of love. What he says is, may we stand firm in the knowledge and comfort that all things are now, always have been, and forever will be in divine order, unfolding according to a divine plan. May we truly surrender to this truth, whether we understand it or not. May we also ask for the support in consciousness in feeling our connection with the divine part of us, with everyone and everything, so that we can truly say and feel that we are one. And so it is.
So it is.
My affirmation for today is, I am forgiving new life to me. So let's all say that together. I am forgiving new life to me. One more time. I am forgiving new life to me. Thank you, everyone. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Helen. I'm going to take that back from you now for a moment. I am forgiving new life to me. Allow that to settle into that heart space. Allow ourselves to relax into this moment of deepening allowing ourselves to go to that place of deep forgiveness for ourselves, allowing ourselves to release, let go, allow, and surrender to love. Surrender, let it go. Surrender, let it all go. All the fears and the doubts, all the pain, all the wounds, feelings of being alone. Surrender, let it go. Surrender, let it go. Surrender, let it all go. All the shame and the guilt, all the tears, all the blame, feelings of being outside. Surrender, let it go. Don't you know God is here? 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 Let it all go.
In this moment, I know God is here. I know that there is a power, a presence that is creative and intelligent, that is infinite love, that is creating in each and every moment. And so together, as one community, let's breathe into this knowing, this absolute knowing that there is only spirit, only love. And that no matter what fear, pain, sorrow, sadness, and loss is experienced, that the divine principle is always working through us, as us. And all that I need to do is to go within and remember that I can surrender into the arms of the divine and be held so benevolently, so in love, so with such compassion, with such grace, that every hurt, every sorrow, every sadness can be healed and revealed into the love that is meant to be expressed, the love that is meant to be lived, the life that is meant for each one of us to live. For we are all all divine spirit expressing so beautifully and perfectly, no matter what. Everything is in divine order. Everything is perfection. And this knowing is where my faith is placed. And in the feeling of this divine energy that surrounds us, that illuminates this center and beyond, I have a very grateful heart for this knowing of the truth, this full embodiment of love, of spirit, of the divine. I am so grateful for each and every person here today and online. I am so grateful for every person I come into contact with that shows me who I am. For I see the divine light within each and every person that is reflected so perfectly back to me. And I say thank you for this. Thank you for this blessing. Thank you for this knowing and faith. And as my word is spoken, it is released into that perfect law, that law that is creative, that is the doer, that law that does what I command. And so, as my word is spoken, it is done. I release, I let go, I let the ego get out of the way. And I affirm this knowing by letting the energy flow and by saying, and so it is.
Let it all go. Surrender the doubts and the fears. Let it go. Thank you, Helen. Our song today, we do so much music, it's kind of hard to say we have a featured song because kind of every song is featured every week, right? The song that's in the what we call the featured song slot of the celebration today is it's one of my favorites, and it was made famous in 1979 by a green frog. That's all I'm going to tell you. Here we go. Let's do it.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. And rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me.
Who said that every wish would be heard and answered? when wished on the morning star. Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? And what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me, all of us under its spell. We know that it's probably magic.
Have you been half asleep? And have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name.
Is this the sweet sound that calls the young sailors? The voice might be one and the same.
I've heard it so many times to ignore it.
It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, the lovers, the dreamers, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Thank you for that. There's a going to have a sip of water and trust that my tongue will now work. Why is that song special? Why is that song special? I think part of it is, it's one of those songs that has been adopted by the LGBT community because, well, quite frankly, it has the word rainbow in it, and the symbol of pride is the rainbow flag. And, if you go back into the history of the LGBT rights movement, it goes back to June 28th, 1969, really, which is considered the birth of the modern gay rights movement in the world, and it was initiated by the riots at Stonewall in New York City. And part of the mythos of the event is that there was a particular level of upset in the gay community because Judy Garland had just died. And, Judy Garland was quite the gay icon and obviously famous for singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, which is sort of the gay anthem now. I mean, I think we have many anthems, but that seems to be pretty prevalent. But I started thinking about the idea of the rainbow and what at the core does it mean and why has it been adopted. And here's why I think it really resonates. Because not a single one of us can be tied down to being just one thing. It is representative of all the colors of humanity, all of the expressions of humanity. Everything that makes us unique is represented in some fashion by one of the little facets of the rainbow. But when you put all of it together, we all create light. We all are light. And so that's why songs like The Rainbow Connection, I have a little bit of a deeper feeling of love around songs like that. And I certainly love Somewhere Over the Rainbow, which I've never sung, but maybe I will someday. That'll be the week that I do the metaphysical teaching of The Wizard of Oz. Oh, there's a whole talk in there. There's a whole talk in there. So this month, July, we have launched into a new month, a new theme. The theme for the month, as Helen introduced, is loving kindness and forgiveness. That is the theme for this month. And today's topic is this idea. We see a worldwide culture where forgiveness is the norm. So thank you for launching us into forgiveness, first and foremost. Forgiveness. And I am grateful for you also bringing up Colin Tipping's work, Radical Forgiveness, because there's one thing that you're absolutely right. When we truly are at the place of deep forgiveness, what we realize is that on the spiritual level, nothing was there that needed forgiveness in the first place. That's what we really connect with in Radical Forgiveness. You know, everything that happens in the world of form, everything that happens in the human experience is something that we have decided something about. And when we go into a place of fear around it, that's when we go into reaction around it. That's when we build up the borders and the walls, close ourselves off. And when we do that, life gets hard. Life just gets hard when we do that. And so today is about breaking down those barriers. I love that. Barriers down. Barriers down, right? I was going to say borders down. I'm like, that's not right. Barriers down. Barriers down. But that's scary for a lot of people. It is scary for a lot of people. You know, I talked about our comfort zones a little bit last week when I was speaking. And comfort zones are the things that we create because they're, well, comfortable. They make us feel secure. They make us feel safe. But at the end of the day, they actually do us a disservice. They do us a disservice because it keeps us from truly experiencing the infinite nature of life. And so when we are faced with fear, when we are faced with upset, when we're faced with these human experiences, that's the time when the work becomes the most important, the work of spiritual practice. So we see a worldwide culture where forgiveness is the norm. Can we get on board with being forgiving for everything infinitely? Can we? Is there any part of you in your mind that is saying, yeah, I can forgive all of this, but there's this one little thing, I'm not so sure about that? What are you holding on to? What are we holding on to? I have things that I hold on to, but that's part of the work. That's what I am working on every single moment. And the way that I come to a deeper understanding of how to release those things I'm holding on to is when I remember that we are all a unified whole, that we are all the light. We are all the aspects of the light, showing up in our own beautiful, unique way. So, unity is a primary tenet of our teaching. Unity. We are all interconnected. We are all one. There is no separation between the divine nature and us. And in fact, I would only have one minor thing to say in response to what Helen offered, and that is, yes, we are all having a human experience, but the human experience is a spiritual experience because there is nothing but spirit. There is nothing but spirit. And so the minute I say there's a separation between the spiritual experience and the human experience, I'm saying that there is something other than spirit. And so I release that concept and I say, my human experience is a spiritual experience. I am a spiritual being living in a spiritual universe governed by my use of a spiritual law. I am a human being who is having a spiritual experience. I am a spiritual being who is having a human experience. It's all one thing. There is no separation. None whatsoever. The infinite knows nothing of separation. The only reason we perceive separation is because we've decided there's separation. On some level, I see Helen sitting separate from me, and I've decided that she is somehow not a part of my energy, of this energy that we all share. The individual, even though we have full access to the universal, we perceive separation. And we believe that separation to be reality. The infinite reality that we all share is that there is nothing but universal presence, universal wholeness, spirit, the livingness of a divine creative nature that is always unfolding by means of each and every one of us. It is unceasing. And when we go to that place of unity, when we erase the perception of separateness, we're actually in the process of forgiveness. Because like Helen said, we are forgiving our understanding to a deeper experience of wholeness, of unity. Forgiveness is a shift from the perception of separation to the perception and understanding of wholeness. Today, following the service, I'm going to head out to watch the Pride Parade. I haven't watched the Pride Parade. Well, actually, because we had our booth for a couple of years out at the street fair, I never saw the Pride Parade when we had our booth. And then last year, I didn't go to the Pride Parade because I don't know if you remember, it was raining cats and dogs last year on Pride. And I just decided that the way I was going to celebrate Pride last year was to go home and Dane, my fiance, and I, we sat and played Scrabble and drank wine. And we let them all parade in the rain. So I'm going to go to the Pride Parade today, and part of this also is in reaction to what happened in Orlando, and I'm really feeling the need to embrace that community, to be a part of that community, which I've gone back and forth about being a part of that community and then separating myself from that community, and, for various reasons. I've talked about those in past Sundays when it's been Pride Sunday, right? Pride Sunday. For a long time, I felt the comfort in the separation of claiming, I am a gay man. Something I'm going to point out there. I separated myself to say, here I am, world, I am gay. And I separated myself, and that felt so comfortable. And yet what I was doing was putting up a barrier to say that I was somehow separate and different. So, barriers down. By isolating myself physically and immersing myself into a community, I felt included. And this was the first time, because 25 years ago, I was 18 years old, so now you can do the math. I was 18 years old 25 years ago when I came out. In those previous years, from the moment I realized that I was, gay, I don't know what I was going to say, but different, I don't know. I felt isolated because of my fear. For a very long time, I lived isolated because of the fear that I felt. And I had to finally come to a place of letting that go, surrendering, letting it go. So my spiritual journey actually began really when I came out of the closet. In retrospect, what I realize is it doesn't make any sense to separate myself and immerse myself into one community, because what I forget is that I'm part of all of humanity, and so are we all. And it's not just about being gay, although that's kind of the basis of the talk today. That's the kind of the underlying current, because it is Pride Sunday here in Toronto. But in what way do you feel different? What is it that you have allowed yourself to become attached to that makes you feel different? And can we start to recognize that our differences are the things that we should be celebrating, not suppressing? And I talked earlier today about, I just mentioned it briefly, that the great aspect of this philosophy, and part of the reason that I loved coming to this teaching is because it celebrates uniqueness, that we don't have to be cookie cutter cutouts of one another. There's do you remember the television show, what was it called? Now I can't remember what it's called. Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. Remember that show? Did anyone have any recollection of that show? There was one of the guys on that show, Kyan Douglas, was, I forget what aspect he was in charge of in terms of doing the makeover for the straight guy. But there was something that was posted on Facebook just this week. I saw it, and I'm not a friend of his on Facebook, although it somehow came up on my news feed. And what he was talking about is that TMZ, because TMZ is so great at making sure we all feel like we're a connected community. TMZ had posted a, what they look like now photo of Kai and Douglas, and it was kind of hurtful to him. So he posted this status update on Facebook saying this was hurtful to me, and I just wanted to put it out there that we should be celebrating each other and not tearing each other down, just because we may look different. And so the way Facebook works is that if you private message someone that you're not friends with, it goes into some folder that you may not be able to find. And I just thought, well, I'm going to give it a shot anyway. I sent him a private message, and I said, you know what? I was really moved by what you wrote, and I just wanted to let you know that part of what I've come to in my 25 years of being out, and I said, and I'm about your same age, I said, is that I am so over a community deciding that we all have to look and think and act alike. That I'm done with it. I am done with it. Now, I do fit many stereotypes that people could look to, but at the end of the day, I am so different in my own unique nature, and so are we all, that we should all be celebrating that. That's what we should all be experiencing pride around. So I was surprised he wrote me back. He just said, thank you very much, Jonathan. So he apparently saw the message. Wow. So separating ourselves doesn't make any sense. That's where this was all started. I got off track. There you go, Brian. There's my tangent. And I've already mentioned that pride, this idea of pride, was born out of an act of violence. It was born out of a riot that occurred. It was actually several days of rioting that started on the night of June 28th in 1969. And it is unfortunate that it seems that's the way many of us conceive we must make change, is to go to that place of being so pushed up against the wall that all we can do is fight back violently. And I think that there's room for some new idea. I think that there is room for some different idea. There is room for us to come to the table and sit down and have an openness and a willingness to speak to one another and to really move away from that particular paradigm. And I think that we're in the transition, I think that we are in a transitional state as a human race to that paradigm. I do believe, I fully believe, that when we give into forgiveness, when we give into that and we live the life of wholeness and unity, there will be no need for war. That's just what I believe. Because we'll stop looking at anyone else and saying, wow, you're different from me, so I have to put up my barrier, and now you're not allowed to cross that barrier, so the minute you try, I'm going to fight back. Part of what I struggle with sometimes is this idea. How do I celebrate my uniqueness while affirming my unity? How do I celebrate my uniqueness while affirming my unity? And here's the only way I can answer that. In my decision that what makes me unique is what unifies each and every one of us. Our uniqueness is what unifies us. We must express our uniqueness. We must be willing to let those barriers down and express it at all times. We will never experience that which we are not willing to express ourselves. That's the law of attraction. That is the reciprocal nature of this universe. What it is we want to experience, we must be expressing. I posted this quote from Ernest Holmes on Facebook today. It goes like this: many people may be under the mistaken concept that the metaphysical philosophy is attractive to people because it says that God is good and everything is all right. How many of you come to this philosophy because we basically stand up and say, God is good and everything's all right? That's how many of us make that initial step into a metaphysical teaching. So, many people may be under the mistaken concept that the metaphysical philosophy is attractive to people because it says God is good and everything is all right. Therefore, there is nothing to fear. Oh, and then Ernest Holmes, God bless him, he says, this is far from the truth. What it says is this: do you wish to be loved? Then stop hating. Do you want to be happy? Then be sure that you are never the occasion for unhappiness in others. We don't bypass the truth. Although many people come to this philosophy and they want to bypass the truth and just say, God is all there is, God is great, and everything is wonderful and flowing in my life, even though everything's falling apart in your life. That's because there's a tendency in thought, and that is the way our lives show up. When we want to be loved, we must express love. When we want to be happy, we must be sure that we are never the occasion for unhappiness in others. That's how we fix the world of all of its ills. Forgiveness is necessary in this process. Forgiveness is necessary in this process. Ernest Holmes also writes, when we become conscious of our oneness with universal good, beliefs in evil, sin, sickness, limitation, and death tend to disappear. When we become conscious of our oneness with universal good, beliefs in evil, sin, sickness, limitation, and death tend to disappear. Forgiveness has some side effects. Not all side effects are bad. Forgiveness has some side effects. Fear gives way to love. Victimization gives way to freedom. Persecution gives way to joy. Love, freedom, and joy. Isn't that what most of us are looking for? Love, freedom, and joy. Not a single one of us is alone in this pursuit. And we can all support each other in this pursuit. That, to me, is the ultimate realization. When I understand my unified nature with all of my community, then love, freedom, and joy become my way of expression. And so here's the capper. Today's talk title, L.G.B.T. L.G.B.T. does not stand for what you think it stands for. Today, let us allow L.G.B.T. to mean life gets better together. Let's stop putting up these walls. Let's stop perceiving that separation or difference makes us something other than, for we are all part of the whole. And when we really, truly give into that, life gets better together. And that's all I have to say on the subject today. Namaste. Life gets better together. I'm going to invite us all to take out whatever it is we are offering the center today. Oh, we're doing that first. Of course, we're doing that first. You can, okay. I always forget, it's the first Sunday of the month. So we're going to do our birthday and anniversary celebration. If you are celebrating a birthday or an anniversary during the month of July, you may have been asked as you were coming in the door today to fill out a ballot that has your name and the name of a registered charity in Canada. If you have not been asked and you are celebrating, we do still have ballots. You're welcome to fill them out. And we'll collect those ballots and we're going to do a draw. While that bit of business is happening, we're going to not do our usual birthday anniversary song because we're also celebrating a special birthday. 149th birthday. Because it's Canada's birthday this weekend as well. So we're going to sing "O Canada."
In all of
No, I'm here. Drum roll, please. Oh, there are a lot this month. Yeah, that's good. Today, I don't know how to say your last name. I'm sorry. Laureen? Yes? How do you say your last name? Lorenz Quinar. And charity is Sick Kids Hospital. So, yeah. So, I'm going to invite us all to give freely from our hearts, because what happens is a portion of last month's complete collection will now be donated to Sick Kids Hospital. That's how we celebrate our anniversaries and birthdays here at the center, by giving back to the world. As you have whatever it is you're offering the center today in terms of a contribution, I invite you to hold it in your hands. And if you're part of our Step Up program, part of our pre-authorized giving program, I invite you to hold your card in your hand. And also, for anyone who's online, I welcome you to donate at this time as well. And understand that there is a power, presence, and infinite resource for good that is flowing through this thing we call money. And if you will turn to the announcements side of your song sheet, let's say together these words of affirmation, of divine affirmation, together. Here we go. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that Spirit is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of my spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. So as the baskets go around, we're going to sing this great Pierre Gautreau original, I Love.
What's still to be seen? I live, I breathe, I love, love, love. I live, I breathe, I love. I live, I breathe, I give, I receive, I laugh, I love. I'm a part of what's here, what has been, what's still to be seen. I live, I breathe, I love, love, love. I live, I breathe, I love.
So I'm going to invite Helen to do a blessing over this offering.
It is in the spirit of love, of giving and receiving, and the understanding that money is God in action, and it is this reciprocity of energy, of action, that creates more and more and more and more good. And so for all that we have received today, I am so grateful. I say thank you. I bless these baskets, knowing that all that is received today is respected, is used from a place of integrity, love, and in principle of the understanding that this center is here to support people in living their best lives, in knowing who they are and in knowing who we all are, as we are one divine spirit coming together in love. And so I release my word, and together we say, and so it is.
I live, I breathe, I give, I receive, I laugh, I love. I'm a part of what's here, what has been, what's still to be seen. I live, I breathe,
All right, Helen, you have some announcements for us.
Yes, I do, Jonathan. First of all, we have a new fundraiser that is going to happen in August. And how many of you have done those painting parties where you go and you sit with a ton of people and you create a very interesting painting? I did that. Mine actually went in the garbage. It was hideous. I had a lot of fun with the people I was with, but that's not the fundraiser you're going to be doing. What you're going to be doing is a painting party with our incredible artist in residence here, who has created that beautiful love painting, who has created this painting, who has created the paintings out by the coffee area, Jane Roos.
All the paintings out by the coffee area are for sale.
Yes, they are. And there is one painting at the very back there. If you turn quick, look right at the very back. That was not created by Jane. That was created by me. I know, you didn't know that, did you? You thought that was a Jane Roos painting. It's not. It's a Helen Vello painting. Although it was as a result of doing a painting party with Jane Roos. So this is what you would be able to create. That and more, probably because you're more talented than I am. And so we have... I do have my talents. I'm just not sure they're on the art canvas. So on August 23rd, Jane is having a painting party. It is a fundraiser for the center. You will be able to walk away. August 23rd? 22nd? Is it a Monday or a Tuesday? Oh, it's a Monday. Sorry, I thought it was Tuesday the 23rd. It is Monday the 22nd of August at her art studio. The cost is $200, and a portion of that comes back to the center, and you get to walk out with a beautiful painting, one that you will want to hang on your walls. There will be a sign-up sheet, I believe, at the bookstore, and you will also be able to sign up for this online. So there you go. That's our next fundraiser for the center. Oh, and we need a minimum of 10 people, so get your butts to the back there and sign up for it. Run!
Spiritual butts.
Run! Get your spiritual butts back there. Couple more announcements. We have our ongoing foundations class on Tuesday nights upstairs. They are free. It's a love offering. Don't miss out on that opportunity. I sound like a salesperson today. Oh, it's very funny. I've stepped into a whole new talent. So the foundations class, it is the fundamentals of this teaching. It is free, and get your butt upstairs on Tuesday nights for that one. On Wednesdays is metaphysics with the Bible, and you can sign up for that still at the bookstore if you like as well, or online. And our yoga practice, our ongoing yoga practice with Harold. Bless Harold, because he is now going to add an additional yoga session. So we have Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. We have Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. And now he is also offering Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. for all you early risers on a Sunday morning. And it takes place upstairs. Again, you can sign up for that at the bookstore or online. And remember, we have our meditation practice on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. for 45 minutes. The meditation practices have been incredible with different people leading the meditations, different types of meditation, and a great way to let your light shine midweek and get tuned up. So join us on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. That is all of the announcements for now. Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Thank you, Helen. Great. Science of Mind magazine is in. I know that there was a delay, but Science of Mind magazine for July is now in the bookstore. So if you are part of the benefits program, you can pick up your copy. If you are not part of the benefits program, you can buy your copy. And the Dalai Lama's on the cover. So I'm really excited to read that article. Also, if you are visiting us for the very first time, you might have received a blue card that will entitle you to 10% off in our store today if you fill that out and turn it in. So take advantage of that. All right, let's take a breath. Go ahead and have Brendan start playing. Invite us all to relax into this deeper understanding of unity and what it is to be in a place of forgiveness, breaking down the barriers that we perceive as separation and simply coming to that place of oneness. The uniqueness that we all express is what makes us unified. That's the truth. I chose this song today partially in honor of Helen Vello because I sang this as she was becoming a minister in Santa Barbara about 1 month ago. So I invite us all to simply relax into our chairs and let whatever it is that has touched us today to be present. It's like the air around me. It's like the sunlight on my face. I feel the love of God surround me. I am touched by amazing grace. And all I ever wanted, and all I ever needed, was already there. Closer than the sunlight, nearer than the air. I breathe in, and I am filled with the Spirit, and it is health to my body, it is peace to my mind, it is joy, it is joy to my soul. And I breathe out a simple prayer of thank you. And my breath becomes a song that was singing all along, that is singing everywhere. It is nearer than the air. There is one infinite creative resource. Everything that exists is a part of this one thing, this one energy, this one loving presence. It is expressing itself through all of creation. And so each and every one of us is a unique, individualized part of the whole, living its life as our own, experiencing its love as our own, and constantly unfolding in greater expressions of the self. For this is the truth of spirit by means of each and every one of us. It is constantly, constantly evolving itself and unfolding itself by means of our experience. I'm so grateful for this knowledge and so grateful for this understanding and so grateful to know that spirit is at work in my life and it is at work in every single person's life that I encounter. Every single one of us is living it as us. And so I give over to more love, to more joy, to more freedom, to more peace. And I give over in deep forgiveness. I allow that to be how I move forward in this moment. And I trust we all do so in exactly the perfect way for each and every one of us. I'm grateful for all that has transpired to make this experience here today possible. Everything that has aligned itself in perfection for this thing called our celebration. I'm grateful for Linda and Lynette, our board members today. I'm grateful for Judy, our greeter. I'm grateful for Margaret Ann in the bookstore and Lori for setting up. I'm grateful for Mira and her commitment to clean up following service. I'm grateful for Lasia on sound. I'm grateful for Jim on our webcast. I'm grateful for Mahala and Harold up with our youth today. I'm grateful for the brilliance of our practitioner intern, Nick, and his beautiful meditation this morning. I'm infinitely grateful for Reverend Helen Valleau and the great wisdom and insight she brings to this experience always, and especially today. And I'm grateful for the Queen Street Band and all that they offer in service to this community. And I'm grateful for our guest today, Brendan, on keyboard. Grateful for all that has aligned. And I'm grateful for every single person who has made their presence known here today and online. In deep appreciation for all that is, I simply release this word to law, knowing it is complete in the very expression of it. It is so, as together we say, and so it is. I breathe in, and I am filled with the Spirit, and it is health to my body, it is peace to my mind, it is joy, it is joy, it is joy, joy to my soul. I breathe out a simple prayer of thank you. And my breath becomes a song that was singing all along, that is singing everywhere. It is nearer than the air. It's like the air around me. It's like the sunlight on my face. I feel the love of God surround me. I am touched by amazing grace. And all I ever wanted, all I ever needed, was already there. Closer than the sunlight, nearer than the Thank you. And we're going to kick this out into the street with Love is in the Air.
Love is in the air, everywhere I look around. Love is in the air, every sight and every sound. And And I know that I'm not being foolish. I know that I'm being wise. And it's something that I must believe in. And it's there when I look in your eyes. Love is in the air, in the whisper of the trees. Love is in the air, in the thunder of the sea. And I know that I'm not just dreaming. I know that I'm feeling sane. And it's something that I must believe in. And it's there when you call out my name.
Here we go.
Love is in the air. Love is in the air. Love is in the air, in the rising of the sun. Love is in the air, when the day is nearly done. And I know that it's not an illusion. I know what I see is true. And it's something that I must believe in. And it's there when I reach out to you. Love is in the air, everywhere I look around. Love is in the air, every sight and every sound. And I know that I'm not being foolish. I know that I'm being wise. And it's something that I must believe in. And it's there when I look in your eyes.
Everybody!
Love is in the air. 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 Love is in the air.